Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dynasty's Racing League's DRL TV. Tonight, I am your host, David Wellborn. Joining me in the booth is Rod Fossinall and Chris Smorrell. Can you gentlemen hear me?
Got you loud and clear, Dave.
How about you, Chris? I think Chris is maybe AFK. I'm not sure. He might pop in here later on. We're currently underway during our qualifying session. I've been very busy this evening, working on some paints and some decals and banners and stuff like that to get all this broadcast set up. But what's your pick for the night, Fasanah? I know you got one.
You know, I've been watching, and I think I'm gonna stick with my Sasquatch car again, and Tamer Butcher Benjamin. I think he's gonna get it done.
You think Butcher Benjamin's got something for these boys? Well, he's not doing too bad right now. Sitting currently in the third place, but I'm going to pick one of the lucky boys tonight. I think either Chris, if he's in here, I don't see him, but I know Richard is, and he's currently running fourth. It's going to be, my pick tonight is going to be between Hesgard if he doesn't take himself out, or Richard Lucky, and I think Lucky might have something for him tonight.
Yeah, it looks like both the Luckies are gonna be in the field tonight, Dave.
Well, that sounds great to me. Let's see, Nathan Jurgensen, let's see what he's doing. He is currently on track, trying to set himself up to a win here this evening at Lucky Vegas. You know, last week we gambled on whether or not, or when, or if we were going to get the big one. Tonight we're just gambling, period. These cars are very, very loose for the first couple of laps. And I got word from a couple of drivers that these things tighten up probably about 15 laps into a run. And if you're not very careful, we may see some cars actually blow the right front tire.
Yeah, there was a lot of luck last week. You know, High Bank, Daytona. I mean, everybody knows that's kind of a crapshoot who wins that race, and this is a true driver's track now. We're getting to the nitty gritty of the schedule now, and we're gonna see what happens here in Vegas.
Wow, Cronowit got really loose, smacks the wall, was not able to complete that lap. He did get one lap in, however. Going to start 14th, it looks like. So, not very good for Mr. Cronowit here this evening. Now, I'm sure that's not where he wanted to start. How about little Eric Wolf? Eric Wolf's currently running in our second position. I think all the cars are done qualifying. No, it says Eric Wolf is actually on track trying to... Oh, well, it helps if I pick the right car number, don't it? I think we are done with qualifying. All cars are in. We never did get a confirmation on Kevin's last name, did we, in the 6th car?
I'm still going with Giadrosic.
Okay. Well, I'll let you pronounce his name. How's that?
Well, those of us with hard to pronounce names kind of make it easy.
I hear you. That's all foreign language to me. Who said English was my first language? Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are set here to go racing. We're going to let this thing cycle through. I'm going to try and reset the grid. And we'll try to get through this grid. It looks like Hesgard is on the pole, followed by Eric Wolf, J.W. Miller, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Chris Lucky, Anthony Burrows, Mike Lemon, Chris James. And I knew it was going to do that. Nathan Jurgensen, Evan Rice, Richard Lucky, my pick for the night, Bill Edwards, Ben Izinga, Gary Cronowit, Kevin, I can't pronounce it, Matthew Vanderkoy, Jordan Berry, James Larillo, wow, way back there in the back, James. James Pandolf, Mike Springer, Thomas Harmon, Austin Derbyshire, Casey Drake, Joshua Durham, James Lindahl, Sam Niederhelm. Very big field here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Gavin and Matthew Kleinsmith. Jeffrey Meyer and Matt Burgess. 30 drivers so far. Wow, 30 drivers for this race. We hope we do not see a wreck first thing. Like I said, there's some drivers talking, went through chat, and some of them were saying that they probably don't even think we're going to make it across the start-finish line before we see the first yellow. The cars are just that loose.
117 laps. What's the weather look like, Dave?
Well, let's see. It looks like we got air temperature at 78 degrees. The track temperature is 87 degrees. We got winds 2 mile an hour out of the north, and it is partly cloudy. So, good racing conditions for these gentlemen here tonight.
Yeah, that's cooler than Daytona last week.
Yeah, track temperature 137 last week. Yeah, makes me want to go racing. Not. That track was slick. I would have hated to have been in these cars and on that track.
Yeah, they're going to have some extra grip tonight.
Well, they're going to need it from what I understand. As like I said, the talk of the chat in both iRacing and inside of Discord here, car's very loose to start with. We are set to go green flag racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are here for the 175 here tonight. We're going to be here for 117 laps. Smorl, have you made it into the chat yet?
He was having some technical difficulties. I don't know if he's got it straightened out yet or not.
All right. Well, our next race is going to be at California. We're going to be dreaming there for 88 laps in this series. And then our next broadcast is going to be here again tomorrow night. It's going to be the Las Vegas 150. I'm not sure if I'm going to take my hand at that, but I might give her a whirl. After her last week, don't know, man. I had some bad luck last week. Pace car should be ducking in, and we should be set green flag racing. Hesgard brings them down. Great start. The predictions was wrong. We did not get a wreck before the yellow flag. Wow, look at all these cars going. Awesome view right there as they head off down into the turns. Hesgard trying to get him a comfortable lead. Ducks below that white line. That is illegal here, ladies and gentlemen. However, I do frown upon it. If you go off the track and you go below that white line, the car beside of you does not have to let you up. That's why I frown upon it.
Oh, we got Hesgard by 5 car lengths already.
Yeah, Mr. Smooth is already showing us why he won so many races last year. Now, he didn't have too much luck at Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, last year. I think he crashed and burned at Vegas at least once last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I think this is going to be a redemption for him here.
Yeah, and if you look, Ryan's about a car and a half up from the white line in the corners. He's conserving the tires. He's running smooth. This is a car that's going to last for him.
Well, big discussion in that earlier, as I said. We may actually see some drivers blow that right front tire. As from what I understand, the longer you go, if you abuse these tires, they will be worn out. That right front tire is going to be causing a lot of people some issues. Going to make them tight. Did Hesgard just brush the wall? Let me take a look. This car doesn't seem to be damaged, but I could have swore it looked like he hit that wall. If he didn't, ladies and gentlemen, he came awful close to it. He gets right up against that wall just as he gets ready to enter these turns. And that's what you got to do here at Vegas. You got to make this track just as wide as it can possibly be to get that apex cut right, to keep you from burning up that right front tire.
Yeah, he never touched the wall.
Well, if anybody can get it done here tonight, it's going to be him. You got J.W. Miller following closely behind him in car 36. does an awesome job at racing here. I like the paint. Good old Mountain Dew. I wonder if he's drinking the cherry flavored Mountain Dew. You know, I was always told don't drink the Kool-Aid. So we jump back here a little ways into the 12 car. And that's Vanderkoy being closely followed by the 67 of Matt Burgess. Vanderkoy looked like he got a little loose right there. You got Kleinsmith in the 59 working his way up underneath up underneath the 67 of Burgess, and takes that spot away. Looking here at Chris Lucky. Lucky taking a look, being taken by the Kevin, made that look easy. Say his name again.
The 6?
Yeah,
That is Kevin Giadrosic.
Giadrosic. All right, I'll try Giadrosic. Sounds like I'm saying a bad word, but okay.
You know, while we were looking at the back of the field up front, you know, J.W. Miller has slightly cut into Hesgard's lead a little bit. He might have found something.
Or he's just been saving his right front tire. Like I said, from what I understand, about 10 laps into it, if you have already abused that right front tire, you're going to notice it. That's what they've been saying. That 10 laps in, these cars tighten up really, really bad. And the longer you go, the more damage you do to that right front. And I've been noticing that J.W. Miller is not going all the way down. I mean, he's saving some. Of course, now his cars, they got two different lines. Both of them are running two different lines.
And those two have pulled away from the rest of the field clearly. It'd be interesting to see if those two cars fade here in 5 or 10 laps and everybody starts gaining on them.
See, Hesgard is almost a full car length off of that turn. I mean, off that line in that turn going into 3, coming down the backstretch, or coming out of 2, going down the backstretch. And then J.W. Miller's right on that line. And then they're both on the line coming out of 3 and 4. So I don't know which is saving the tires or not. And I noticed that J.W. Miller does not duck below that white line coming to the tri-oval.
You got to wonder if Hesgard
he's
needs
there.
a little bit of brake bias to help the car turn.
Well, that's about the only thing these gentlemen can change is the steering ratio and their brake bias in these cars. Everybody's running the same setup. And if I'm not mistaken, those are the only two changes you can actually make to your car for handling situations, that is, as far as setup is concerned. Your brake bias and your steering ratio.
You are absolutely correct.
And guess who's challenging for that lead?
Miller is on his back bumper now.
And both of these gentlemen are doing an awesome job. They have got almost a full 2-second lead over top of the third place of Nathan Jurgensen. So you look back, there is a pack of cars back here. And your pick, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, is got Chris James. Chris James is up underneath the 22 of Eric Wolf. He looked like he was trying to make that move and is not able to do it, but awesome driving by these gentlemen. Get back up front. Hesgard still trying to pull away from J.W. Miller here.
What would you say we've got for a fuel window today?
I have no idea. Anywhere between 45 and maybe 55 laps here. If I would be my guesstimation. I have not even driven a Grand National car in over a year, so I have no clue.
Yeah, this is the only car I have not driven this week.
And I have not even been on this track this week. So I think if I'm going to do any practicing, it'll be all day tomorrow for the truck race. And that's if I decide to race it. Just things are not going well here at the homestead. Wife's got some really major medical issues. I don't know if anybody has been keeping up with it, but uh, she has re-injured her foot. And today we got some really bad news. Somebody's in the wall. Thought it might have been Izinga that brushed the wall. You know, it might have been Taylor Butcher Benjamin.
Yeah, Butcher Benjamin's dropped a bit off, I believe. No, he's still up in the top 10.
It wasn't him. He doesn't have any damage. It was somebody in this pack right here that I saw it. But I don't reckon I can figure it out. Anyway, as I was saying, bad news this afternoon. Wife's had, while we were running our
We got a
mouths,
new leader.
we do. And I think I might have been in replay mode the whole time. But it looks like our leader is now J.W. Miller. See if we can't rewind that and see how he took over that lead.
Hey boys, this is Chris. You got a copy in the broadcast booth?
Yeah, we got you. As we are rewinding this, we're just going back.
Turn 1 and 2, lap 18.
We're gonna watch this as J.W. Miller overtakes Hesgar. Hesgar looks like he just tapped the brakes right there and just lets him go. And that is a pass for the lead, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the booth, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulty.
Yeah, I noticed your mic was stuck open, and we talked to you for a few, and then couldn't never get any response. So we figured you'd show up sooner or later. Gary Cronin went down pit road. That cannot be a scheduled pit stop. Let's find out what happened to Mr. Cronowit. Because if you're coming in on lap 21, something is wrong. I mean, he's way off the pace anyway. Oh, no, he spun. All right, let's see what happens. We're going to... Oh, he brushes the wall, and the 31 gets into him. Who's in the 31? That's Jordan Berry.
31's Jordan Berry.
Let's see if he took too much damage out of that. Doesn't look to be that boogered up, but he does have a little bit of front end damage there. And Cronowit, I believe he's back out on the track. Actually, I think he might have disconnected. He is 2 laps down, currently being fixed in the pits. So not a great night for Cronowit here, as he is going a 3rd lap down. And while all that happened, Hesgard retook the lead. Hey, Deborah, your boy's leading again. I guess it don't matter who's leading the race. What's going to happen at the end of this thing? That's going to be the big question. And where's my Lucky Boys at? Richard Lucky's all the way back in 13th. And I don't see Chris Lucky even in the top 20.
I show Chris Lucky 21 and Richard Lucky 12.
Right,
Caution's out. Caution.
Okay. Who was it?
It's like Drake.
Yeah,
the
looks like
87.
Casey Drake.
87 got into the wall, came down. 59 was there.
Matthew Kleinsmith involved in that. Not what you wanted to see here from Mr. Kleinsmith. If we take a look.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
3 cars.
And like you were saying, it gets tight after the longer runs here, so it kind of probably just miscalculated that just a little bit. Ended up.
So we got the 67 involved with the 59. The 72 gets in the back end. Makes it cleanly through though a little bit. But Casey Drake's car,
Joshua Durham.
as they come down pit road, all these leaders, I'm going to guarantee you there ain't going to be a single car out here that is not taking 4 tires and fuel. As we watch the race off of pit lane, 27 laps into this 117 lapper here tonight for the Las Vegas 175. We are having an awesome race so far. Hesgard,
First one off.
yeah. How about Burrows come from nowhere to take second? Actually, it shows Burrows took the lead. It is showing Burrows in front of Hesgard.
Yeah, Burrows looks like he beat Hesgard by about 0.8 of a second on that pit stop.
I don't know where he was at before that pit stop, but I don't remember seeing him even in the top 10. So what a smooth move there, X-Lax, by Anthony Burrows.
And he took 4 tires. Both sides of the car lifted up. He took 4 tires.
Well, that's all that counts. You're going to need them here. You can't play with tires here at Vegas. If you take out right side tires, I'm going to guarantee you one thing. Your car is going to be so loose, it's not even funny. And you were going to be hoping that it would tighten up, and it's not. It's not going to tighten up for you. It's just going to keep getting looser. Especially if you run 27 laps on just left side tires and you only take right. Yeah, that's not going to be something that is going to work out for you.
Yeah, I went back and checked it. I showed Burrows running 3rd prior to that caution.
Oh, was he?
So he gained a couple spots on that pit stop, though. It's good work on his crew's part.
Well, out of this race right now, we started a race with 30 drivers. We have 27 drivers still in this race and on the lead lap. So, not a bad call here tonight from Mr. Burrows. The lights are out and we are set to go back green flag racing. I'm going to take this moment to watch this as we restart. I will be right back, gentlemen. I have got to get a drink.
I hear that.
Green, green, green.
That's
All right, pace car's off.
Burrows.
Yeah, Burrows got a huge jump there.
And I'm back.
You know, let's see how long Burrows can stay out front. My guess is Hesgard's going to hunt him down, and within 3-4 laps, Hesgard will be back at the front.
Well, as we sit here and watch this battle, Hesgard is definitely making his move. He is now looking to get around Nathan Jurgensen. He just made easy work of the 22. And he's got J.W. Miller still hanging tight right there on his quarter panel. Hesgard comes down, blocks him.
You'll be happy to have the 36 and the 24 side by side behind him for sure.
Well, the longer these gentlemen race side by side, the farther Mr. Burrows gets out. I can't get over how well these cars are handling, considering after all the talk, I thought we'd have more yellows already.
I think I'm going to attribute that to the cooler track temperatures than I think everybody was practicing.
Well, I know when I practice, I don't practice anything less than 100 degrees on track temperature. Just for the simple fact that iRacing does tend to make that move where everything's above 100 degrees. And can you believe 137 degrees last week at Daytona? That was just insane.
Miller got around Hesgard.
You know, Hesgard may be saving.
And it's not a terrible strategy. We are 33 laps into a 117 lap race, and I gotta imagine there's gonna be some more cautions in there. So save your stuff and play it smart.
Now, the only bonus points left for Hesgard to get during this race would be most laps led. He's already led a lap. If he can get, to where he's most laps led, that's another bonus point category. And I think he's probably going to have a really good shot at winning this thing.
Now, I'm not sure if we still do it or not, but we used to give bonus points for finishing a race without an incident. Now, I'm not sure if we still do that or not.
I'll look into that.
But I believe it was 5 bonus points, and that only entailed up into the playoffs.
And it looks like the 3 of Jurgensen is giving some challenge there to the 62 of Burrows. He was right up on his bumper entering 3 there, backed off a little bit now. Looks like he's ready to try to take a lap.
Well, I have noticed that lead is slowly but surely coming. It's shrinking. Kleinschmidt back down pit road. Not what he wanted to have happen tonight. Whole front end got on that car. He may just only be getting damage fixed. As a challenge for the lead, 36 goes up underneath the 62 of Burrows. J.W. Miller looking to try to take this win away. Jurgensen right there. Hesgard as well. Wow, Jurgensen got a good run. Nathan got a really good run and just passed Burrows like he was backing up. Now Hesgard is stuck in behind Burrows. I don't believe it's going to be long before he makes a move to get around him.
If I had to guess, I'd guess that Burrows had his foot in it and drove tires off of it already.
There was a movie that said something to the effect that tires is what win races. That's going to be true here tonight.
That was Harry Hogg.
I don't know who he was.
Harry Hogg talking to Cole Trickle.
I also just want to point out we've got less than 7 seconds separating the top 20 positions here. It's some pretty good race.
Well, let's see if we can't get around in here. Let's see. 41, Richard Lucky. Let's see what he's doing. He is back here, and he has got Mike Lemon with him. Got some beautiful paint jobs, by the way. Got Jeffrey Meyer. Done really good in the Truck Series last year. Brought his way up into the Grand National Series. He is currently doing battle with Mr. Edwards. 68 of Thomas Harmon. Let's see where's he at. He is back here in a mess of things. We got the 67 of Matthew Burgess looking to the inside of the 6 of Kevin. I can't even begin to pronounce his last name.
The 6 car.
Yeah, the 6 car. Yeah, him. What he said, all them words.
That would be Kevin Giadrosic.
Yeah, there you go. There's my pronouncer. And this race is still not over. This battle is still continuing. As Burgess is still trying to get around Thomas Harmon. And how about your boy Taylor Butcher Benjamin back here still dealing with Chris James? Both of them still in the top 20. And you got to imagine that these gentlemen are just riding. They're just waiting. We're not even halfway through this race yet. So they got to be just trying to save their equipment. J.W. Miller has actually took over the lead, ladies and gentlemen, while we were messing around.
Admiring paints?
Yeah. Admiring paints and looking for action is what I'm doing. Hesgard finally made it around and gets up into the 3rd place. Gets past Anthony Burrows.
Not only did Miller take the lead, he's got a good 6/10 of a second now. And Hesgard has been making his way through, but his maintaining just shy of a second on that leader. So it does seem like he's kind of playing with them at the moment.
Yeah, it almost seems like, 40. What are we at? 40 some odd laps in. 44. But these guys are just sort of riding right now.
That's what I'd be doing. Just clicking off laps.
The 2 and the 3 are both within striking distance of J.W. Miller, and I really got to believe that they can get there if they want to.
Clyde Schmidt back out on track. Looks like they replaced the bumper on the front of that car. It doesn't look no better. Still all boogered up. Let's go back here to the non-sponsored car of Mike Springer. Currently doing battle with the 41. My pick for the night, Richard Lucky. Mike Springer goes around him like it was pretty easy. Then gets a little loose coming off.
For my money, that flat black 99 with no sponsor on it, it's not a bad looking car.
Well, you can't mess up the paint if you don't have any. That much is for sure. And we had a couple cars here tonight who had some problems with not only their... Oh, whoa, what in the world? The 72. Wow, I just did see that. Let me rewind that. No yellow come out, but wow, he just really breaks loose.
Yeah, it looks like he went for a heck of a ride. Josh Durham, he tapped the wall and then Hard hit on the inside wall.
That's unfortunate for Mr. Durham. I know that he's one of them drivers that's try to stay out of trouble and not bring out any yellows or cause any wrecks. And that is not the way he wanted his night to end here this evening. That's definitely going to take him out of contention for a win, for sure.
Well, and that's an important point to make. You know, we were just talking about leaders ticking off laps here, and you just can't take anything for granted. Just one little mess up, you can end up in the wall just like anybody else.
This is true. Vegas has nothing for these gentlemen as far as being friends. Them walls will eat you alive. Vegas kind of reminds me of the way it actually handles. It actually handles for me like a Darlington. It's just that loose for me. And I know the tracks are nothing alike, but it just reminds me of that when I'm driving it.
Well, I tell you what,
Hesgard.
It's all about concentration.
Hesgard to the inside of Jurgensen. Trying to take over that second spot. I think he said he saved enough tires. And that's what these gentlemen want to see behind them. Them racing up front. Gives them a chance to close in on them.
Yeah, we'll mark that right there. Wolf in the 5th position is about 1 second behind them at the moment. Let's see if they can start making any ground with them going 2 by 2 here.
Well, I'm going to tell you something about Mr. Burrs and Eric Wolf. Those gentlemen know how to get around these tracks. Now, they are usually cup drivers. They don't usually run the Xfinity cars. But you got to think stepping down is not going to be that much of a difference for you, especially once you race the upper cars.
Yeah, I mean, not if you're Kyle Busch.
Don't even get me started. I tell you what,
could win in a damn pedal car.
I've never been a Kyle Busch fan. But I'll tell you what, there was a day I become a Jimmy Spencer fan. Do y'all know what day that was?
What's that?
The day I become a Jimmy Spencer fan.
The day he reached through the window and punched him right in the mouth.
He broke Kurt Busch's nose. Yep, that was the day I become a Jimmy Spencer fan. Right then and there. Burrows to the inside of J.W. Miller, trying to take it away. Thinks better of it. Ducks back in. They all line back up. The only thing that changed in that whole scenario was Nathan Jurgensen makes it back into the 3rd position, and Hesgard drops back to the 4th. Once again, Burrows to the inside on the bottom of the track. Ooh, I don't like that. If I was J.W. Miller, I wouldn't have let him back up on the track, but that's just me. You go below that white line, it may be racing territory for you. We don't have no rule against it, but off track is off track as far as I'm concerned. And that is a rule in our league. We do not have to let you back up if you go below that line. So that might be something to think about coming down to the line at 5 to go. Does that driver actually let you back up?
I'm definitely of 2 minds about that. I completely understand and agree with what you're saying. At the same time, 56 laps in,
You gotta
quite halfway there.
Yeah.
You gotta give a little, but yeah, like you were saying, toward the end of the
Caution,
race.
caution.
Don't know.
Looks like Kleinschmidt again.
Oh no. That's 59 vehicle.
Yeah,
And
he got in the wall, took out Jeffrey Meyer as well.
Oh no, that's his teammate. You know Myers is not gonna be none too happy about that one. Oh yeah, he bounces right into the wall right here. Twice. Oh, net coated him. And the 67 gets a piece of it as well. I'm going to have to expand this so I can see.
I mean, we've all had those nights, but that's going to be real frustrating for that team.
Oh yeah, that was some serious net code. That's awful.
That was Matt Burgess in the 67. Nothing either one of them drivers could do, and the whole back end of my man's car with the fastest chicken in the South is tore all to pieces. Looks like it was hit from both sides. So we're gonna head down pit lane, see who gets the race off. I would not be surprised if J.W. Miller doesn't come out of this thing leading. Down and away. How about
Good
Nathan
post from
Jurgensen?
Nicole.
Nathan Jurgensen takes it over.
Wow, I would not have guessed that, but fantastic job on that pit stop.
He got a really good. He was moving coming down pit road. Now I'm almost worried about whether or not he was actually speeding as he come down pit road because he was hauling some mail.
I'm showing Jurgensen with a 14.6 second pit stop, Miller a 15.1.
These pit crews need to be fired. Where's the 13 seconds and the 12 seconds? Oh, that's right. This is Grand National. Duh. Well, let's do a rundown. We got Nathan Jurgensen is currently leading this race, followed by J.W. Miller, Eric Wolf, Anthony Burrows. Ryan Hesgard drops back a position into 5th. Evan Rice, haven't talked much about him at all. Currently running in that 8 car. He is running in the 6th place. Mike Lemon made his way to the 7th. My man, Richard Lucky, back up in the top 10 in 8th. Mike Springer in the no paint scheme 99. And James Larillo, who was way, way, way back when this race started. As a matter of fact, where was Mr. Larillo when this race started? He was started 18th, and he is currently in the 10th position. So way to go, Mr. Larillo. Meyer back down pit road, try to get some more of that damage fixed.
Our big mover, though, right now is Springer, who has moved up 11 spots from his starting spot at 20, all the way into the 9th spot.
And just think, he's doing all that without a sponsor.
That's all out of pocket.
Yeah, I know that's right. But now, you know, Anthony Burrows, he doesn't have enough money to put paint on the car, just no sponsors. And I think Pandolf's the same way. Got paint on the car, but no sponsors. But 60 laps in, we are definitely halfway at this point. So running this race backwards, knowing that you can probably only go about 50 to 55 laps, I don't think you can make it on a full fuel run at 60. Do you short pit and pray you don't get a yellow, or do you ride it out and hope for a yellow?
I think that kind of depends on where you're sitting. But yeah, I think you're right. You could probably count on another yellow, but do you make that gamble? That's tough to say. Also, I want to say I didn't get my pick in because I was having technical difficulties. I'm going to throw my money down on the 24 of Eric.
Eric Wolf. You can't go wrong with that gentleman there. Yeah, he's pretty fast at Vegas. But you know what I've noticed is we got J.W. Miller. He's new to this league. I believe Nathan Jurgensen is new to this league as well. So you got both of those gentlemen. And then you got old school Eric Wolf and Anthony Burroughs right behind them, who had both dropped down from Cup. And then you got my man Hesgard trying to fix what he couldn't fix last year, and that's to get a championship.
Green, green, green.
Pace car's down.
All right, man. Caution.
And we have got a yellow. What in the
Caution
world?
already.
Looks like James Lindow.
In the 91. Might have spun the tires there. Let's see what happened. Well, they're single file when they come. There's nobody on the outside of him.
Oh, that's a serious.
That's an accordion. Wow, and it started. Let's see where it
All the way
started
up
at.
to 6.
Yeah, the 6 looks like he's going to run it in the back end of the 12. He hits the brakes really hard. 67. Wow.
Yeah, that's rough.
I think.
And then Chris Lucky is at the end of the accordion and just hooks him. Unintentionally hooks him, but hooks.
Right. There's not much you can do when you get in that accordion effect. But what really surprised me is they were all single file. I mean, they're single file. There's no other cars. It looked like they all come down. Oh, wow. A lot of damage to the 77 car. Now, do you come back down pit road or not? That's the question. You know what I would do? I'd come down pit road just to make sure I got enough fuel. And Jordan Berry was thinking the same thing. Matt Burgess, Chris Lucky. Well, we know those gentlemen are coming down pit road for the damage. I still think I would have come down pit road, topped off with fuel. I don't think I'd have grabbed tires, but I definitely would have topped off with fuel.
Well, that's why you belong in Vegas, sir.
I don't belong in Vegas. I would have no money if I actually lived there. Me and Texas Hold'em? Oh, no, I'd have no money or I'd be a rich SOB. One of the two. And there is no in between on that one.
Well, I tell you what, I often tell the wife, I got $50. You want to go to the casino and turn it into 5?
Turn it into nothing. One of these days, I'm actually going to make it to a casino. And I am going to sit down at a no limit Texas Hold'em table and play a tournament. Before I pass away, I hope. That is something I would really enjoy doing. Just once.
Well, it looks like Mr. Lucky's back out on the track, but he's got some serious front end damage.
Yeah, and that's not good. But
And it looks like Burroughs was listening to the broadcast because he's in the pits.
yeah, but he didn't listen very well because he's taking tires. You know, he may be getting him a drink or something. There he goes.
Well, you know, I mean, it's good practice to check those tires off if you don't want them, don't need them. But at that point, what's he really going to harm? I mean, he's if he stops even for a splash of fuel, he's going to lose all the spots he has and be at the tail end.
Right, and nothing ventured, nothing gained. And, you know, these gentlemen do have 6 laps on their tires in front of him. Now, you know, granted they're under pace, but, you know, tires still wear. It might actually work out to be an advantage for him. You never know. The light should be kicking out this time by. Nathan Jurgensen set to restart this field once again. J.W. Miller on the outside. Eric Wolf. And then Hesgard moves up 1 thanks to Burroughs.
Hell, if I was Burroughs at this point, I'd duck back in and get another, 0.2 gallons.
Don't think he's going to be able. Well, he might be able to. The lights are still on. Wonder why we're having it extended. Look at that. Half the field come down pit road, more or less. Bill Edwards come down pit road, and he was not one of the gentlemen involved in the wreck. And it looks like he is topping off. Jordan Berry's doing the same. Jordan Berry, that is exactly what he did, because he's got a 4.19 second pit stop. So he didn't check any tires.
Well, this will actually help Burrows now because he'll gain some of those spots back that he lost. It puts him, closer to striking distance from the front again, and he's going to have maybe half a gallon more fuel than the other front runners if it comes down to that.
This is true. But I believe at this point, if you've come down pit road, I think you should be able to make it. I got to believe that you can run at least 55 laps of fuel here. Now, I don't know about no tires. I would assume that about 40 or 50 laps into a run, you're going to be screaming, I need tires. So I don't believe it's at this point it's going to be a fuel issue. It's going to be who can hang on to the car and not put it in the wall as it tightens up and gets even tighter and tighter as we go. Burgess back down pit road. Lights are out on the pace cars. We get set to go back green flag racing next time by.
Now we're going to have 52 laps to go at this green flag. Let's see what happens.
That's going to be a handful. With 8 laps on your tires already. I think they can do it from here on out. Of course, it's still going to be questionable for the gentlemen who have not come down pit road and got the fuel.
I got race control reminding the drivers to tighten up their formation on the restarts. Might have avoided that last caution had they been better formation.
Well, looks like somebody up front's not listening, but I'm not calling out anybody. You really shouldn't have 2 car lengths or even a car length in between you and the next driver as we restart this race, but pace car's in. Green flag is out. Jurgensen is down and away. Awesome view here. Got Mike Springer. Not sure what's going on with Mr. Springer. It looks like he's dropping back. Thomas Harmon's now taking a look up underneath him. Oh, don't do that, Lemon. I just thought Lemon was getting ready to put Richard Lucky in the wall right there. Still a battle going on between Thomas Harmon and Richard Lucky. Haven't talked much about Ben Izinga, but Izinga's been holding his own here in the top 10. Doing really good here this evening. Got James Larillo as well up in the 9th spot.
Miller's moving. Miller's looking to move into second place.
And he does so. Just does slide around the 22 of... Who is in the 22?
Eric Wolf.
Well,
car number.
Well, that explains it why he's showing in 24 and I got a 22 car on the field.
That's all right. I think Wolf will be back here shortly.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe by next week we get all these paints and everything updated. A lot of gentlemen had some trouble with their paints here this evening, as I mentioned. I finally got the banners working right on everybody's cars, so my end is at least done. Hesgard is trying to make his move once again. He is up underneath the 8 of Evan Rice. Trying to take away that spot from Mr. Rice to get back into the top 4.
Oh, he's going to get it. He might get Wolf, too.
And while they are battling it out, Nathan Jurgensen, a man who we not talked much about this evening in that 3 car, is making his way around this thing, leading this field. Three wide here at Vegas. Chris James. Ooh! Oh, wow, that was so tight right there. Izinga and the 6 car. 6 car said, "What's going on?" and backed out of it. And Kevin did a really nice job at figuring out what was going on there and backs out of it. Saved everybody a wreck right there. I'm sure he did. I like that paint job. From afar on Kevin's car, if you don't know what you're looking at, it kind of reminded me of a Grateful Dead sticker, but it's actually a deer on the hood of his car. I must be telling my age when I said that. Nobody had made a comment.
No, I'm with you. The Grateful Dead, Rolling Stones, big part of my childhood growing up. And thing to bring up here is the as the laps tick down, the importance of track position.
It's key.
You can't really just kind of hang back anymore because these pit stops, like you were saying, if you want to gamble on the tires and the gas, that's fine. But if you're gonna be coming in again, that track position is gonna be key.
That's why I said that earlier. I think I'd have been coming down while we were under yellow. Look, give up track position now. That way you make it up later. You got to believe there's going to be another yellow. You got to believe that. And do you? I mean, at that point, you still got to gamble. I mean, do you come down pit road or do you want to gamble for the track position? And that all depends on how much further we go. I mean, we are already at least 18 laps in on some of these tires. You got to imagine everybody with 18 laps or above is going to be coming down pit road.
No, that's right, and I think the leader is going to set the tone. Really, the closer we get to that checkered flag, how do you counter that strategy of what the leader's doing? If leader top 3, whoever's going in, probably smart to stay out, or vice.
It looks like Hesgard is not waiting any longer. He makes it around J.W. Miller and puts himself back into the second position to try to run down Nathan Jurgensen. And wasn't Nathan Jurgensen involved in the last lap battle there last week at Daytona?
Yes, he was.
Well, if he didn't get to win it last week, I know he's definitely looking forward to trying to win it this week. Scrolling through real quick.
I mean, I've got Jurgensen pulling away. Well, check that. Hesgard was faster that lap.
Yeah, Nathan Jurgensen lost that race by I want to call it a half of a splitter last week. So it'd be great for him to come back and redeem himself here with a win.
What was it, like 9 thousandths of a second?
I believe it was actually less than that, but I think it was somewhere around 100 thousandths of a second. But that's just, I mean, it was so close, it was not even funny at how that was the actual uh, closest race we've had in DRL history. It was that close. Nathan Jurgensen looking to make his name for himself this year as he continues to pull away from Hesgard. And we go back to the 38, which is Mike Lemon. It looks like these gentlemen are getting nose to tail. I think just about time to start going. Try to get you some track position if you can now. Outside move by Evan Rice. Don't know if it's going to pay off for him, but he is definitely trying to do that on the outside of Mike Lemon. It looks like it's actually going to work.
He's still fighting. He might clear him by the end of the corner.
And he does
He's
clearing.
going to clear him by the line.
Now that's something right there to make a pass here at Vegas on the outside like that. Just scrolling through right now, ladies and gentlemen, trying to see if we got a battle going on anywhere. Most of these gentlemen are behaving themselves.
Yeah, I'd definitely call it the calm before the storm.
Looks like Hesgard cut in just a little bit to the lead over Jurgensen. Mr. Patience is what we call him. And he is definitely trying to reel him in.
I mean, he had to use.
Say again?
Oh, sorry about that. I was gonna say he probably used up a lot of his stuff just to get through the field to get to the second position. So he probably had to chill for just a couple laps and be more methodical as he's working up toward first place there.
Looks like
I want to point out a nice little bit of nostalgia here too. We got our own version of DRL number 3 versus DRL number 2 going here, and it's kind of
got a battle here between Anthony Burrows and Thomas Harmon. This is a battle for the 7th position. Burrows is able to take it away from Mr. Harmon. So Burrows, with them fresher tires, is making his way back through the field. Made his way all the way back into the 7th position. Not quite sure where he restarted that last restart, but you gotta imagine it was pretty far back.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think I saw him in the 20th position at one point.
Taylor Butcher Benjamin back here in the 14th position with Chris James. They have been together all night long, both of these cars, along with Bill Edwards, having a pretty decent run here this evening. The cars are still 100%. Hope they can gain a little bit. My man Richard Lucky currently riding around in the 10th position. he needs to take that 0 off of there and finish this race that way, but not sure if he's going to be able to get it done. And just when you think Hesgard gains, he loses, and he gains again. Let's cut that lead back down to 7/10 of a second. I see smoke. Don't know where it's from.
That's Kleinschmidt again, I think.
Hesgard is doing everything he can to get to the back end of him. Got it down to 5/10 of a second. .27 laps to go. Now I know they got to be screaming, I want tires. They got 32 laps on these tires. You got to be screaming, I need some tires at this point. Looking for a yellow. Not wanting to be one. As they're getting ready to take the lap car of Kleinschmidt. Sure, he'll stay high.
As a reminder, keep your eyes on Anthony Burrows. He's got 5 laps fresher tires on the rest of the front runners right now.
And I think probably the bigger issue is he's got more fuel by maybe as much as a full gallon.
I don't know what happened there. Hesgard was all over the back end of Kleinschmidt and then jerks down at the last second. I want to rewind that because I just caught that out of the corner of my eye. I think he was just trying his best to get all the draft that he could get off of him. And that's exactly what he did. He used that lap car for a drafter. Kind of worked out in his favor there a little bit as he's cut that lead down to 4/10 of a second. He's coming, Mr. Jurgensen. Watch out. Big battle back here in the back. Harmon, Larillo, Lemon, Richard Lucky. All these gentlemen are battling it out. And then you got Burrows mixed in there as well. He's made his way around Thomas Harmon, moved himself up into the 6th position. He's coming, believe it or not. And Richard Lucky makes his way around the 38 of Mike Lemon. So Burrows is doing an excellent job, and he is gaining really fast on Evans Rice. So may actually get himself up into the top 5 before this race is over with. Hesgard has reached the back end of Nathan Jurgensen, ladies and gentlemen. He is there. Not what this man wanted to see with 20 laps to go in this race. I think Hesgard was fooling everybody.
Let's the point here where long run speed is starting to become less important. as we click off the laps here. That short run speed is going to become more and more vital. And I'll let you take over the call here. It looks like we might have a change of the leader.
And we do. Hesgard has made it inside, and looks like he is trying to take it away from Jurgensen as they come off, headed down the back stretch. Jurgensen able to power back through. Hesgard unable to make that pass.
Yeah, he was able to carry more speed using that high line.
And we saw that a few minutes ago with the move to the outside, and it actually worked. So maybe the longer these cars go, the higher line is probably going to be working better for them. And it looked to me like Jurgensen got a little loose right there, did it not to y'all?
I'm going to take a look. It looks like Hesgard might have just slightly got into it.
Well, this is certainly getting ready to show up. We got a two-way battle for now, but you can't cut out J.W. Miller. J.W. Miller is coming as well.
Yeah, the top three have definitely carved out a comfortable lead against the rest of the pack by over a second, but you are right. I've seen Miller cut that by 0.2 of a second here in the past few laps. He's down to about 14.
Jeffrey Meyer is your lap car, and he will be getting out of the way. You can guarantee that. I think Hesgard is just waiting. He's biding his time. He is letting his tires cool down to make that next run. The next run will probably be with about 5 to go. Man, he is all over the back end of him.
I think this is a little bit of a case of Jurgensen's taking Hesgard's line away.
Take everything you can.
Now that they cleared that lap traffic, the next car in front of them is just entering turn 3. That's the 74 of James Penn.
Our fearless leader is still on the lead lap, so he might want to try to hang on to that lead lap. Never know. This is called racing. It's not called roll over and let them pass. But, you know, JP's not like that. He knows he can't win the race, so probably will not play too much of an advantage there to try to hold these gentlemen up. Especially considering that we only have 15 laps to go or less.
We're going to pass for third, it looks like.
It is J.W. Miller and Eric Wolf. The battle back here. Eric Wolf to the inside of J.W. Miller.
And there's my boy Wolf. I told you he was gonna stalk these guys like a wolf that he is. I think he's got the leaders in his sight, and he's gonna make a run for it here with I think now 12 laps to go, if I'm not.
Well, I can tell you one thing about Mr. Wolf. He does know how to take care of his equipment, and if anybody can run these boys down, it will be him. Hesgard looking one more time to try to get to the inside of Nathan Jurgensen. Anthony Burrows made it to the top 5 as he just made his pass on Evan Rice, and he is working to try to get to the back end of J.W. Miller.
Wolf is there.
I think Wolf might have been saving his tires a lot because now he's to the inside of Hesgard. Wolf may have been playing possum this whole time. And he made that pass look easy. They crossed the line this time. We have 10 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he is looking. He's there. He's under. He's going to make the pass. Lap car in the way. I hope he gets out of the way. That is Jace Pandolf. He will definitely get out of the way.
Yeah, but will he have the momentum on that low line?
Pandolf will probably go off the track to let him by. Or not.
Looks like they made a little contact there.
Yeah, all's fair and racing, even rubbing. What was that cruise chief's name again? Didn't he say he didn't hit you, he didn't bump you, or he didn't rub you, he just bumped you, or something like that?
That was Harry Hogg.
Harry Hogg. I
Chase
need
of
to
Thunder.
see if I can't get him for a crew chief. Because I sure do like quoting him a lot. Eric Wolf, still to the inside of Jurgensen. Think he might actually get him this time.
Nope.
Jurgensen not giving
enough.
it up. Whoa! Net code.
Dave.
Net coded. And got into Hesgard. No yellow. All three of them cars were damaged. But that was definitely net code. Wolf's car seems to be fine. Hesgard, I think, is got a little damage on it. And of
Jurgensen
course,
got into the wall off of 2.
Jurgensen's got a lot of damage. So let's see if we can't rewind that a little bit and take another look at it. And you're going to definitely see some net code come into play here, ladies and gentlemen. Just rewinding it. All right, well, now we are live.
Wolf has opened up a 0.8 of a second lead.
There was no actual contact there, but they were so close that the game just said, yeah, he hit me. And I had that happen to me at Daytona, and with less, that was a less room than what I had at Daytona. I mean, you could have put a half a car in the length of me last week and got net coated bad. Of course, I did make it 3 wide. I shouldn't have done it, and I had to apologize to those drivers.
I just watched that too, Dave. I don't know that I would even call that net code. That's close enough that's
Contact.
That's contact.
Yeah. Eric Wolf is your leader, ladies and gentlemen. Got a 1.5 second lead just about over Hesgard. Anthony Burrows, where did he come from? Made his way up into the top 3. Don't know if he's going to have enough time with 5 laps to go as he crosses the line this time by.
And Wolf is on a 55 lap stint right now since his last pit stop. Burrows, the only one with 5 less laps.
I'd love to see what these fuel pressure gauges are at right now.
They got to be burping. Like I said, I don't believe you can. I'm going to be really surprised if you could have actually make it 60 laps on fuel. And that's even with them being under yellow. You know, riding around. Of course, now a couple of them might have been clutching it. You never know. I believe Hesgard and Wolf are going to be doing battle. Oh, look at this mess back here. Oh, Hesgard. What in the world just happened there?
I think Ryan might have tapped the wall.
He definitely gets into the wall. He brushes it. Everybody checks up. Wow, he does a really good job at not wrecking that car.
Well, I'd say now as long as Wolf has the fuel to finish, he's got it in hand. The real battle here is for second place.
Which is going to be Anthony Burrows, who's making the move now to try to get around Evan Rice. And you got Thomas Harmon mixed in this thing as well. And my man, Richard Lucky, makes it into the top 5. He was my pick for the night. And, of course, this race is not over yet, and we do have 2 laps to go. Yellow flag right now would put us into overtime unless the leader makes it to the start finish line. If he makes it to the start finish line with 1 to go, this race will not end under a green white checkered. So if anybody can hear me out there, hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge. White flag is out. This race is official. What happens, happens. What they say, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, it looks like Eric Wolf is closing this thing up. Battle is still going to be for second place, and it's going to be right here between Eric Rice, Richard Lucky, and Anthony Burrows. Nobody can catch him at this point, so your winner is going to be Eric Wolf, followed by Anthony Burrows. And it says Evan Rice. Those are our top three, followed by Richard Lucky, 4th, Thomas Harmon, 5th. James Larillo is going to be 5th or 6th. Bill Edwards, 7th. Ryan Hesgard actually finishes it into the top 10. J.W. Miller and Mike Lemon rounds out our top 10. The other Lucky brother, just on the outside of the top 10, Chris Lucky finishes in 11th place.
Which that's a nice finish after the front end damage he incurred.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our next road course, or our first road course, to watch the Lucky Brothers race. That I was talking about earlier tonight as well. Love to see the Lucky Brothers race and on the road courses. As we are getting set to bring up our third place finisher, Evan Rice, if I can find him. Let's see. And he is in the 8 car. Well, we've got so many chat channels and on 30 drivers here tonight, it is hard for me to find who I'm looking for. Evan Rice, look at that. He's already in the waiting room. And Anthony Burrows is there. So the only person that's not there is Eric Wolf.
Well, Wolf's busy burning them down right now.
So let's grab Mr. Rice real quick. Evan Rice, you got a copy, my man?
Yes, sir.
Walk us through your race there, man. It looked like you stood a chance there to come away with a lot better finish than third.
I don't know if I'd say that. I was running 5th and 6th for most of the race, and honestly, I was pretty excited and happy to even be in the running for the top 3 at the end. I know Nathan, he had an incident with Eric, so that kind of took him out, and then I think the 36 and the someone else's tires just fell off towards the end of the race, and so I kind of just wound up being about 3 positions higher than I was for most of the race. But yeah, so I don't know if I'd say I was much higher than I anticipated. I don't know if I'd say I was a lot. I could have finished higher than I did, but yeah, honestly, I was pretty happy with the top 3. I didn't expect to even be in the top 5 personally going into the race. So
Well, you didn't do too bad. I mean, you started this race in 10th. You come home third, and you got as high as second. So not too bad. Thoughts
yeah.
and concerns going into next week at California?
Um, well, it's definitely a lot different than this track. I haven't really driven it with this car with this new tire model, so it should be interesting. I'll probably be doing some B-fix this week to see what that's like. So I think it might be fun though.
Any of you gentlemen got any questions for Mr. Rice?
I tell you what, Evan, I'm just curious. How were you on fuel at the end of the race?
It was close. When we pitted, we had probably less than a gallon to spare, but as the run went on and we had to use more brake and less throttle in the corners, it was going up slowly, so it was never really a concern.
Wow, I would have never guessed at that. But I guess them yellow flags helped. The laps under yellow.
Yeah, definitely. I think without those, without especially the second one with the one right after the restart or on the restart, I should say,
Right.
there probably would have been some concern. But yeah, by the end of the race, I had like maybe a little over an extra gallon left. So
Right. Chris, you got anything for me?
No, man, I think
Okay. Then Evan Rice, I say it every time I interview somebody. Shout outs. Get them in, get them out. I know you got them.
um, I guess shout out to my parents for getting me a computer when I was 12 years old, because I guess I wouldn't have started sim racing without them. So yeah, that's about it though. I kind of just do leagues on my own. I'm not affiliated with any teams or anything like that. I just kind of run races for fun, and so this was definitely probably the most fun league race I've ever been a part of. So yeah, it was fun tonight. I'm glad I ran this one.
Well, there's two teams that probably would be more than happy to take in a third place finisher here tonight. Probably SGK and S2R. You can always check out Dysfunctional Patriots. I know all three of them teams practice a lot during the week, so if you're looking for a team for this league, check them out.
All right, maybe I will. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
And now we're going to move into Anthony Burrows. Well, if I can move things around and make things work, we'll drag Mr. Burrows up in here. Mr. Burrows, you got a copy, my man.
Yep, I got you.
How close was you to actually winning that race?
Not too close. I burned up my tires a ton getting back through the field.
Yeah.
I had to fight super hard to hold off Evan and all those other guys. I'm surprised I was able to beat him, but yeah, I had to really push towards the end there and barely had enough right front to hold him off at the end.
Well, it's your lie. I'll let you tell it your way, man. Unfortunate incident there, coming close there with that incident with Hesgard. Take much damage over that?
Um, I don't think I got any damage. Not really sure what the incident was.
Hesgard brushed the wall. A little bit of net code involved. But,
Yeah, I didn't notice anything on the race car though. It felt the same after that.
right.
So, yeah, I don't think it really did anything.
Well, you almost come home with a win here tonight. I talked about it earlier between you and Mr. Wolf. Y'all shine coming down from the Cup cars. Is it going to be much of a difference for y'all to be running these Xfinity cars?
Not too much. It drives pretty similar to how like the 2018 Cup car was. And I wasn't the biggest fan of last year's Cup car, so I never really got too used to that anyway. So yeah, I don't think it should be too hard to adjust. The main thing is the tire model. Just makes like things way different with saving tires and all that. So yeah, I think the tire model's like maybe the biggest learning curve this year.
10-4. Gentlemen, anything for Mr. Burrows?
yeah. Can you talk me through your pit strategy there?
Yeah, I thought we were gonna be a lot closer in fuel, so I topped it off. I thought maybe a couple other guys would come down too, but at the end, I had like 4 laps of fuel, so everyone else must have been pretty close too. But yeah, I just didn't want to take that chance of running out of fuel or having to save or anything.
Right. I figured it was going to be a fuel issue, and that's what you did. I was telling on the broadcast, I thought a lot of people should have come down with you, but that would have just been me. I'd have come down and topped off with fuel just like you. And it was probably pretty smart that you grabbed tires as well, because there was another driver that come down, topped off fuel, and did not grab tires. Well, Chris, you got anything for him? If not, I'm going to let him do his shout-outs.
No, it was great, great race, man.
All right. Shout-outs. Get them in, get them out. You know you got them.
Yeah, big shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast tonight. Shout out to my team Nexus Esports, and shout out to everyone for watching tonight.
10-4. Mr. Burrows, you have a great evening this evening, and congratulations on your second place finish.
Thanks, you too, guys.
Thanks a lot, Anthony.
Now, you won't believe it, but that kid's a really young driver. I think he might be 17 or 18 this year. Does an awesome, awesome job here in this league. I've been loving watching him race for years. Going to bring up Eric Wolf, and we're going to get this show on the road. Come on. Well, I'll move him up one channel at a time till I can get him to where I want him. Eric Wolf, my man, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Wow, I have got to turn you down a little bit. It is going really well. Playing possum much, was you?
Oh, well, the way this thing is, you got to conserve some tires a little bit if you want to have something toward the end. That's what I was doing.
Well, it definitely showed there with the last 10 laps. Walk us through them.
Yeah, so I was doing the same thing the whole race, really, waiting until about 25 laps into the run. There at the end of the race, I waited till we had 20 to go, and I said, all right, I'll see if I can start hunting them down a little bit. At that time, I think I was 2.5 seconds back. And just started using up the tires then, hoping that I'd have something left at the end. I was able to run those guys down. They did some battling there amongst themselves that final round. I think they wore out their stuff a little bit. And I was able to get up there around Nathan. We ran side by side for a couple laps, and then off two there we got together. That's unfortunate for him. Sorry we got together there. It's not the way I want it to go, but tried to
Actually,
stay down low, tried to give him enough room there, but still got together a little bit. And then I was able to just maintain speed after that. Fortunately, the tires never went away too bad, and we were able to come away with the win.
well, in your defense, my man, it was actually net code from our end, but you were so close that even if it wasn't, it probably would have resulted in contact because you were definitely drifting up the track. But broadcast says it was net code, so I'm gonna say it was net code and give you the win on that. How's that?
I mean, yeah, still doesn't feel great. I mean,
I
I'd
know.
rather be no contact at all, but I mean, I tried to give him some room there. I still, even coming off two, left a full car length, even though I think we'd still got together at that point. But I wasn't planning on running him into the wall there. We just
Right.
incidental contact racing for the win inside 10 to go.
Well, after 10 to go, all the gloves are off anyway, right?
I still like to try to do it clean if I can, but I wasn't able to do it this time around.
Well, this is just the beginning of the season, my man. We got a long way to go. We're just starting this thing out. What are your thoughts and concerns about going into California? Are you going to be dreaming or are you going to be racing?
I've always liked Auto Club. It's going to be the same thing again, I think. I haven't run this car there, but it seems like you have to kind of pick how you're going to run the car. Like I was trying to artificially abuse the right rear just to maintain balance during the course of a run here because the right front would wear so bad. But Auto Club should be a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a track I've always enjoyed. I'll try to go there and see if I can hopefully come out of the top 5 there.
Or another win?
We'll try.
Gentlemen, got anything from Mr. Wolf? I know you got to have something, Chris. It was your pick.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say,
You broke
Yeah,
out.
you cut out there.
all right, hey, can you hear me now?
Got you.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, yeah, I apologize about that. This is the technical difficulties I was talking about, but when I finally got to get my pick in about halfway through the race, I just want to go on record and say I picked Eric Wolf in the 24 card.
Oh, thank you.
And I don't know what's going on with your paints. It's showing you in the 22 car, but you are listed as the 24 car on the broadcast, but it's showing you in a 22 car, yellow. That's just a heads up for you for next week, Mr. Wolf.
Gotcha. Thanks. I'll try to get it taken care of. I am
Alright.
24. That's right.
Yep.
And this isn't an original question. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Are you using push to talk, Chris?
Yeah.
Hold it down a second before you speak, and then continue to hold it after you're done.
Yeah, it's just not, when I'm holding it down, it's not working. I apologize about that.
All
I
right.
think
Hey,
I'm
no
just gonna. I think I'm just gonna sign off.
Alrighty. Eric Wolf, shout outs. Get them in, get them out. We know you got them.
Hey, guys, just as usual, thanks a lot for putting on the broadcast. You guys do a great job taking the time out of your night to put this broadcast on for everybody. It's a really cool part, one of the coolest parts of being in this league. Thank James for allowing me to race, even though I did have this trading paint issue. I know that it's against the rules what I did here, but I'll try to get it corrected for next week. Just thank all these guys who raced me clean throughout the race, and really everybody did a great job there. That final round, keeping it green, pretty good race.
Well, this is only the second race of the DRL official series, and Eric, don't feel too bad. You were not the only one who ended up having problems with their paints tonight. I was helping several gentlemen try to get theirs done this evening. Even trading paints was messing up and messed up a couple of cars. So you still got a whole nother week to go, my man. And congratulations on your win. Locked into the
Thanks, man. It's been a
playoffs.
while. It's been a long time, so it's nice to finally get one.
So here's
Yeah,
what you got to do.
you're locked in now, Eric. Congrats, bud.
You know that
All right,
means
thanks.
you have to run 80% of the races this year.
I've got a better
Ah.
chance this year than any other year. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you here for the 80% of the races this year, and maybe take home a championship. We'll try to disappoint Hesgard one time, huh?
All right, man. Thank you. You
All
guys
right.
have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Eric.
I kid old Hesgard about his championship, but to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, that was really upsetting to know that he won all them races and then ended up losing it by a fuel mileage run last year. That is just heartbreaking. But anyway, that being said, we are going to get ready to close out this broadcast if ATVO is going to allow me to do it. Chris, Rod, I appreciate y'all showing up here tonight, helping me out in the broadcast. And yeah, ATVO is officially locked up. So no credits, no unofficial results. Oh Lord, come on. I really wanted to get those in this evening.
I'm just happy I'm not the only one having technical difficulties tonight. I was gonna say.
Well, I tell you what, Dave, I can read the results off the iRacing chart if you'd like.
That would be great because I can't do anything. ATVO is completely locked up for me. I can't even get the top 10 out.
All right, I'll give it a shot here. Coming out first, Eric Wolf. Second, Anthony Burrows. Third spot, Evan Rice. Richard Lucky. Thomas Harmon in fifth. James Zulurillo. Bill Edwards. Ryan Hesgard rolling off, finishing in eighth. J.W. Miller. Mike Lemon in 10th. Chris Lucky, 11. Sam Niederham in 12th. Matt Vanderkoy, 13. Ben Izinga, 14. Mike Springer, 15. Matt Burgess, 16. Jordan Berry, 17. Jeffrey Meyer, first car lap down, 18. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, my pick for the race, finishes a lap down in 19. Nathan Jurgensen led a lot of laps tonight, finishes 2 laps down in 20. JP finishes in 21st. Chris James, 22nd. James Lindow, 23rd. Chase Galvin, 24th. Kevin Giadrosic, 25th. Matthew Kleinschmidt, 26th. Casey Drake, 27. Austin Derbyshire, 28th. Joshua Durham, 29th. And tail end of the field, Gary Cronowet, 30th.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate for Mr. Cronowit. No, that's not the night he wanted to have here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I am still experiencing technical difficulties. Want to thank our co-broadcaster Rod Fastenal for getting us our rundown here this evening. As always, we want to thank you, the fans, for showing up week in and week out here at YouTube, checking out the DRL TV, watching our races week in and week out. And tomorrow night will be our truck series. It's going to be the 150. I'm not exactly sure how many laps that is again, but it is going to be an awesome show here tomorrow night at Las Vegas in our truck series. Tune in then. Next week, again, as I've mentioned it several times, will be USA, California, or I like to call Fontana. They just renamed it. I haven't. Oh, well, I'm old. Anyway, I can do that because I'm broadcasting. We're going to have a lot of fun here come this week and next week as DRL is just starting up. We are still working out some of the kinks. ATVO kink is still here, so bear with us. We'll try to figure that out this year. I don't know what we're going to do. But other than that, gentlemen, anything before I let you go?
No, I had a good time again this week. I look forward to next week in sunny California. 2-mile track, high bank, high speed. That'll be a lot of
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me, guys, and it was a real pleasure. It was some great racing out there, and I know Eric Wolf might be a little disappointed in how it ended, but overall, great experience, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Well, you're welcome back anytime both of you are up in the booth. Just let me know beforehand. If you can't get into the channel, let me know. I'll pull you in. Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure having you here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our broadcast here at Dynasty Racing League's DRL TV. Hope you had a wonderful night watching this race, and please be sure to tune in next week as we go to California.
Thanks. Good night, everybody.